We on the Is What It Is show tonight. Let me turn this thing up some up in here. How y'all doing this evening? Cause it is what it is, y'all. And y'all know what I say to all you snows, crows, and tacos, you Cheetos, Doritos, and some of you weirdos. Welcome to our show, the show where you can't be no faker, shaker, or candlestick maker. On this show, we touch, hug, love, and stay sucker free, y'all. Yeah. Some of y'all call it Tacky Thursday. You know the routine. Some of you call it Thirsty Thursday for all you drunks. But on the Is What It Is show, we call it a terrific Thursday because we got y'all, and guess what, y'all? It ain't with nowhere. I still got that Corona shot, and I'ma do my dance. Bob, tell them the Corona dance.
Do the Corona.
Because they said it's just like candy tonight, y'all, and we gonna have a special guest for y'all, and it's just like candy having her on the show tonight. Y'all know I got my cuz with me tonight, B Dizzle, and then I got my boy T Jizzle, and my dog, he wasn't with me last week, so he ain't getting no check, but my boy, Bruce Wilson, hit that Corona dance.
Yeah. I'm getting my shit regardless, man. I don't give a
Release me, bub, because it's just like candy tonight, y'all.
Shit.
Oh, man.
This is crazy, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Another Thursday, fellas.
Another Thursday.
Another Thursday. First of all,
we're here.
I want to apologize to the audience who missed me last week, man. I was out dealing with some medical issues, but hey, I'm back like jumping jack flash in this thing.
That boy talking on there like one of them athletes who done got in trouble on ESPN.
No.
Welcome back to the show, Deshaun Watson.
Oh, fuck off, man. I ain't that dude. I'm not that dude.
It is what it is tonight, Bruce West.
I'm not that dude, man.
No, I'm going to get you with that Craig. But it's all good, Bruce. We here. We here, so it's all good. So we're gonna go forward and thank the Lord that you are safe and sound and you're here with us.
Yes,
with that. So here we go. Heavenly Father, we just thank you once again for allowing us to be here and just have this conversation, a fluid conversation, and of course, an open conversation. And we just thank you once again for keeping us safe for this past week and allowing us to lean on your grace per day. Lord, we just want to lift you up in the things we do and the things that we say, and also let something be illuminated to us tonight to where we can come close to you, Heavenly Father. We just thank you for our safety once again, and everyone who's out there who's moving around, praying for them to be safe also. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. My cousin be using big words with the Lord. He said illuminated, y'all.
I've been reading my SAT book.
Yeah, man, I need to read mine.
Yeah.
So, Red, we're going to jump right on in this thing. We have a very, very, very special guest tonight. It's family. We continuing with the theme of this being a family affair.
Yes, sir.
And we have had a very successful MS Awareness Month thus far. You know, to kind of recap, first week we had the discussion with Buddy in regards to Micah's story. We talked about his book. He also has another upcoming book that he's working on, and just talking about, you know, living daily with multiple sclerosis. And yes, please go out to www.micahstory.com to check out the book that's there, and also to learn more about Micah's story. But our second guest, we had Linda with us from the Southwest chapter of the Multiple Sclerosis Society.
Right.
That was an outstanding interview. She gave us a lot of really good information in regards to not only what has gone on in the past as far as her workings and her team's working and raising money and doing all the good deeds that they do when it comes to multiple sclerosis, but also things that are on deck for the future. Last week, we had Joy Love, family to the show. Shout out to Joy. She came on telling her story about, you know,
Right.
J-Lo.
her experience as a sibling, and again, being a family affair and being a part of Micah's life, and he being a part of her life, and really what he means to the family, and how they've been able to handle him being a person that lives daily with multiple sclerosis. But tonight, we have saved probably the best for last. You know, we about to really represent this tonight as far as Multiple Sclerosis Awareness Month. In addition to that, fellas, this is also National Women's History Month. But when I think of history, it's his story, and that's just not proper for this month, because we're going to bring on our special guest tonight, our very own Buddy Love's wife, Candace Love, and she's going to talk about her story as we represent multiple sclerosis as well as National Women's Month, History Month as well.
TJ, can I bring my cousin up in here?
Bring her on,
Pop
properly.
that beat,
All right,
DJ.
y'all, hold on. Let me bring her up in here. Uh-oh, y'all, we got a special one tonight. It's my cousin on my cousin's side tonight. She coming up in here too. We just heard it's just like candy. So put y'all hands together as my doggone cousin, Candace Love. Corona dance one time for your cousin.
Oh, we had a question.
It was never much. Everything.
Man.
My cousin
What's going on,
Rona dance. She
Hey,
hit that
guys.
Rona dance.
How you doing? How you doing?
Good.
Welcome
I'm
to the
glad I
show.
get to
Welcome
hang
to the show.
with the cool people.
Yeah, good evening.
Hey, y'all. Thank you for that,
I know-
PJ. That was awesome. Her story. I like it.
Thank you. Yes, yes. And that's exactly, as we jump right into this thing, Mrs. Love, you know, tell us a little bit about yourself, and we want to know your story. You know, like I said, it's Women's History Month, but it's really about her story this month. And so we want to know about you. Tell us a little bit about you.
Isn't that always
Beginning
the
to
hardest?
end.
That's the hardest question, right? Because you live with yourself for so long, and then somebody says, condense it into 4 sentences. I don't know. So who is Candace? Candace is a wife, as you guys know, and a mom to 2 gorgeous little boys. I love the Lord and my church, but I also like a good cocktail, and I cuss a little bit, but you know, we are work in progress over here.
A little bit. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Well, you
Both
know,
do.
I think all of those things can exist in the same person, right? I am originally
Exactly.
from money earning Mount Vernon in New York, but I also had the pleasure of growing up on the beautiful island of Antigua. If you ask me where is home, I'm gonna tell you both of them, because truly both are in me. I have been here in Texas since 1999 because I spent my entire career in oil and gas. That's what brought me here. But you know, all that considered, since I've been here, I found a Texas husband. I got the Texas babies. I pay these Texas taxes, so it's also home. And that's really it in a nutshell.
So I was talking to Buddy earlier as we was preparing for tonight. At some point in life, you had gone from New York to Antigua to New York to Houston.
Right.
So talk to us about that transition. Obviously, different cultures, you know, different points in life. If you can kind of go through those different periods of life and what those transitions was like, and just kind of describe that to everybody tonight.
Yeah. So I lived in New York from 0 to 7. And at some point in between there, my parents got divorced. My mom decided that she wanted to go back home. And home for her was Antigua. So she said, we're packing up and we're moving back. And it wasn't an unfamiliar place to me because I'd gone there to visit. That's where my grandparents were. So it was just a change of scenery, you know. But in New York, the Caribbean culture is strong. So it wasn't as if I was going to some place that was completely foreign as far as culture. And obviously living in a West Indian home, the food, the way they talk, the music, it was all just part of who we were. So I moved down there, and I stayed down there for, you know, very, very formative years, 9 formative years, because I stayed down there until I was 16.
Okay.
And I did most of elementary, most of high school, and then I moved back to New York to finish 12th grade, which you can imagine is interesting when you're being inserted into a school system at the very, very end. But I met some really cool people, and so it wasn't that bad. And then I went to college. I went to Pace University in New York, and during that time, I got an internship with Texaco, which interestingly enough was based in New York, which is odd, right?
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
Very.
Yeah. And so that started my career in oil and gas. And so it was not unusual for somebody who starts out in New York to take a time in Houston, because that's really where the action was. And so when I came down here, they said, if you want to be a trader, this is where you have to go. And that is all I wanted to be. And so I took the job, and I said I could put it on my resume for 2 years and then go back and work on Wall Street. And then 2 years turned into 5, and 5 years turned into 17, and 17 turned into 21. And so, we're here, right?
So forth and so on.
Yeah.
So are you saying that because you're still going back because you're counting?
Oh, man.
Attitude determines altitude, bud.
Right.
It's an easier life, right? Like just the little things like being able to park when you go someplace is a big deal. So
that's becoming a fallacy nowadays, though, Candace, because it seems like everybody's migrating down south now. So
not untrue.
So hey,
but that just
kind of what we
you're
are.
not missing out on life, right?
Exactly.
There's still a lot of good things to get here.
Can I have a question? If you'd have never moved back to New York, where would you possibly have been now? Like, would you have stayed down there, or would you start working there, or just you'd have branched out and went somewhere else?
Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Because so much of my choices as far as career goes, it happened because I was exposed to a certain thing.
Right.
So it's hard to say that if I stayed in New York, that this would have been my path. Who knows? Who knows who I would have met or what career experience I would have had. I just knew that it was going to be in a corporate structure. I knew that it was going to be something financially based. I knew that it was going to be something market facing that was interesting. And that I ended up finding it here. And so I stayed here.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you ever have aspirations of relocating to San Ramon, being at that Chevron's headquarters out in California?
No offense to my San Ramon people.
I don't blame
but California is absolutely beautiful. But I think, at the time, Houston was a big move, right? And I wanted to get everything out of Houston that I could get. And I still don't feel like I've done that. And now that I'm older and my responsibility is a little bit different, that California cash is, it's been different out there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Candace, let's stay right there with the move to Houston. So you moved to Houston 1999?
Yeah.
And I know discussions that we've had from the past is when you first moved to Houston, talk about the fun times. Because I've heard you talk about this before, the fun times that you had when you moved to H-Town as far as life in Houston, and tell everybody about that transition and how cool that was for you and things that you experienced.
Yeah, so I had no expectations, right? So what I knew about Houston, and Micah hates this, it's how Texas is marketed. So I thought everybody was going to be riding horses.
See, man.
I ain't never rode a horse before. What Willie D say?
This is how Texas had been marketed, right? Especially in New York. Everybody's riding horses. They wear
a truck.
Boots. They got the trucks. It's dirt roads. It's barbecue. It's Heineken, or whatever beers in a bottle. Tumbleweeds. Like, that's how it was. And so when I came here and I realized that was, you could find that.
Right.
But that was the totality of people's experiences. It was so comfortable to be around people who at that point weren't just when it came down to like even club culture, right? Because I moved down here when I was like 22, 23. So I'm still out in the clubs, and at that time it was all about Westheimer and Richmond. And so I'm going to Phoenix on Saturdays. We going to Cabos. We going to, what's that other one? I always
Max's,
like that whole vibe going on.
Club
And I was like,
Gucci.
when you went in, people looked
No, sir. She
Okay.
stayed out of Gucci.
Charlemagne.
She stayed out of Gucci's and Charlemagne. I can believe that on.
Okay.
She never went there.
Oh, okay.
No.
My bad.
Never
My
went
bad,
there.
cousin. My
No,
bad.
I don't go fishing in the swamp. 'Cause
No, I know she ain't
My
going
bad, cousin. I
I don't go fishing in the swamp.
no.
uh,
But it was like my big thing was like people were out there dancing, right? Like that was a time when New York was starting to transition to way too fly. And so I could wear jeans to the club, and when I go in and people are getting down and doing shots and dancing, and I was like, this is great. And so I enjoyed all of that, and that's when I met, some really cool people. My friend Trina, I met Haven, who Micah knows really well. And so we would just run the clubs every weekend and then wake up somehow and go to work and eyes be real white and hair's all shiny and can't do that now. Can't do that now.
Yeah. I like to see you try that with Luke and Lance and see how that works out.
Not gonna happen. First of all, I can't get out the house.
even without Luke and Lance, I like to see you do
They ain't got
that.
nothing to do
You
with
know
it.
what I mean?
Exactly.
No, baby,
Like
mama
the
needs
Rev
that.
around here, take you 4 days to
Hello,
recover
to recover.
around here. No, that's the
Old
Rev.
fools used
That's
to be
the
young fools.
Right. But I'm glad,
Oh, yeah.
glad that I have the story to tell, right?
So,
My
Wow.
youth
So-
was-
go ahead.
I have to say this. So when you first migrated to Houston, you really got engulfed with the Southern hospitality. Then is what basically is what you're saying.
It's funny because after a while you get, especially since I come from a Caribbean culture, so it's not just New York way, right? And so you come here and so you get so absorbed in the saying hello to people and smiling and nodding and so I remember one time I went back to New York and I was walking in Manhattan with my sister Christine and my cousin Gina. And I'm just looking at people in their eye and smiling and stuff. And Gina was like, if you don't stop that smiling shit, like, what are you doing? And I was like, this is what I'm used to now, Like, don't do that here. People gonna think it's strange. And then I had to remember that it was just a different way,
Exactly.
Well, I have to say to you, I call you cousin. I don't know nothing a whole lot about you other than you always vibrant, smiling with those big old cheeks and stuff, and you just make my cousin happy. So that's my spiel for you.
It is my
all
pleasure.
the rest of that stuff, it don't really make no difference.
It don't matter.
You're
It
right.
don't even matter to me.
It don't matter.
There's no
Candace, I got
greater pleasure than seeing Micah smile is what I'm saying. 'Cause y'all
Man,
know it's the
look
hard thing
here.
to do.
You see what I'm saying? Look, that boy been to the dentist. Look at his teeth, y'all.
I saw
They
him.
got
I
an
actually,
HMO dental plan.
hey, Phil, I actually saw him the first time he saw a smile looking at him.
He did. That's right. It's right, because at the time, Bruce was dating a really good friend of mine, and we all met up on a Thursday night at a happy hour return party, and he just happened to bring his homeboy. And that was the first time. So I essentially owe, this to you, Bruce.
Hey,
There we go.
Micah don't want to admit
Willery. Love connection.
There you go.
Hey, I
All
try
right,
to
Bruce,
do what I
I'll
can
go
do
on
when
and
I
give
can
you
do
your
it.
check, Bruce. I'll give you
Now,
your
you don't have to
check
give him a
for
check.
sure.
Hey,
Nah, I'm
I'm
going to
not-
give you
look
your check tonight.
You don't have to
Bruce.
give me my check. I'm not worried about a check, man. I'm always happy to be in amongst my brothers and my sister tonight. So I'm happy with that alone. I don't care nothing about no money. You know what I mean?
All right, then. Well,
Oh, you want to get one anyway? Don't worry about it.
I know it.
I just issue him out, Bruce. Bub is the one who cut him. TJ the
I'm
accountant.
not
I
worried
just
about
passed
him,
him out.
man.
So,
So
Right.
Candace, before we get into other things, I teed this one question up tonight just for you, and I would be upset with myself if I didn't ask this. With you being a native New Yorker, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Shot fired. Yeah.
So, okay. So my dad was the music person, right? Like my mother loves her soul. She loves her 70s music. But my dad was like the one who stayed current on everything, right? Like he took me to my first rap concert. He bought me all the stuff. Like he was the one that called me up, was like, yo, Biggie died. Like he is that guy, right?
cool daddy. He the cool daddy.
Indeed. Because he liked it, right? And so I don't have the conscious memory, but they always tell the story of me being little in the back of the car. The radio is on, and all they hear is a little voice going, hip hop, the hip to the hip, hip hop. I would say,
Bang,
right?
bang.
Like, indeed. So I would say that I fell in love with hip hop like at 3. You know, whatever
Wow.
that age, before you even have conscious memory, because it was just a part of what we were always around. And then I had a bigger cousin. I had an older cousin, Pat, who was like everything that I wanted to be when I was little, and she would be the one that would take me to the park with the roller skates on and be around all the people that were rapping in the park. And so I'm from Mount Vernon, and so we're talking about like Heavy D, we're talking about CL Smooth.
D-Rock, CL Smooth. That's right.
Yeah, so, I mean that's what we grew up
So
around.
in other words, cuz you just got turned out by that hip hop, and you a hip hop junkie. Well, guess what, cuz? Here we go, right here. We got to do it one time, and we'll go to the next. You got to give us a bar.
We're not doing that, Phil.
We're not gonna do
We're not
that.
doing that, Phil.
You
We
sure?
already talked about this, Phil.
Okay, then.
Drop a
Come
ball.
on, Candace, you got to give us one. It's my cousin Candy on the mic. Go, Candy. Go, Candy. It's your... I, y'all, the host looking at me right now. He said we got to behave, Candy, so I'm going to turn it off.
See the fly girl that dancing in the background.
There's an information that I freestyle, right? And so if I get enough of these, I may hit you with one. However, I would rather you just think I can freestyle than me try to freestyle and it don't, land.
Hey, y'all out there in social media world, if y'all want Candy to hit a freestyle tonight, I want everybody to come in freestyle. Y'all come in
Rusty say let's go.
Let's go.
If I get 5 freestyles tonight, you got to do it. All you Facebook, YouTube, or whatever the hell we on. If y'all want my cousin to freestyle, I want you to hashtag freestyle. You give me 5 of them, she got to go.
Phil, you're gonna be on a stretcher or a gurney, either one, man.
So we're gonna keep
Freestyle,
this.
Hey, Anthony say freestyle.
Do
Yeah,
it.
Vaughn
That's
say
3.
freestyle. That's 3 of them.
So Candace, I got you. We're gonna keep this train moving, right?
Thank you,
He
TJ.
say
Thank you.
That's it. That's 4.
So
that's 5.
Stop
Ronell
it
said
right
that's
now. Here we
let's
go. Here we
No,
go.
that's one question. That's what I'm talking about, man.
Hey, what-
Oh, all right, y'all. All
So let
right.
But we got more than 5. It's like
So-
they keep coming.
She
in.
got to
Go
go,
ahead, Candace.
bud. She got to go. That's
Go ahead,
it.
So
She
We go
got
to the
go.
end. Let's
Here
get to
we
the end.
go.
Let's get to the end.
Here
Let's
we
get to the end.
go. Here we
So
go.
we're
1, 2.
At the
TJ, yes,
end.
I'm listening to you,
At the
TJ.
end? Okay, at the end. At the end. All right.
So we're here celebrating MS Awareness Month.
Yes,
Tell
we are.
our viewers a little bit about what it's like to live with a spouse that lives with MS daily.
I don't know. You have to introduce me to a spouse who lives with a spouse who has MS that puts it in her face every day. Because I don't.
Word. That's good.
I don't. I think you guys have heard through this month, right? And it's through your personal experience too, that Micah does not lead with his condition. And if you're not around him when he's going through an exacerbation, sometimes even when he is, or if he doesn't tell you, or he's not in the middle of his advocacy work for MS, you wouldn't know how it can get for him. And so what he does and how it helps our household is that he's Micah first, right? And then him having MS is somewhere here. But I don't want to give the impression that it's not present in our life because it's so significant of a condition that we understand what the risks are. We understand and afflict him at the drop of a dime. And so we just prepare ourselves to support him through it. But you know how your friends is, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't wake up in the morning and say, what's my MS husband gonna do today?
Right.
I say what he's got,
Damn nerve.
but not that. And so I don't have a curtain over my eyes when it comes to what I signed up for, because I'm well aware of the responsibility that I took when I became his wife. But it's not something that that clouds my thinking on a constant basis.
So let me ask you this here, Candace. when you were first informed by Micah of his condition, and he told you everything, how did it move you? How did it, change your approach in dealing with him? And
it's weird because if you ask me when did I know that he had MS, I can't pinpoint the day, right?
Mhm.
Because it was like in passing. It was we were talking and then he told me, hey, I have MS. And then we went on to something else. And then I may have asked a couple of questions about it because up until that point, my exposure to MS had been like seeing Richard Pryor on a TV screen years ago.
Exactly.
And just knowing that he was in a wheelchair and it was serious, but not that, like, I didn't know anybody with MS. I didn't know how it impacted, the person who had it, what the graduation of the symptoms were. I had no clue.
Gotcha.
And he didn't make a big deal. But as we started to get more serious, I had to figure out and find out exactly what this was and what it meant. And he would gradually educate me, so for my learning in it wasn't just he didn't punch me in the face with it. It was like a gradual learning. Now, when we did get punched in the face, is what a story that he tells sometimes is after we got engaged, he had a major exacerbation like a few days later, right? My mother was always like, the stress of him asking you to marry him, put him over the top. And I was like, it wasn't me, right? But I got a chance to see what it was. And so I will never say that I'm happy that he did that before we got married, but I'm happy that when I put the ring on and I made vows that I knew exactly what I was signing up for.
Cool.
And I
Cool.
Y'all know I like that applause button, don't you?
Yeah, we know. Clap for
Hey,
the
so-
time.
There's a question we have here, y'all.
Lisa Saylor.
Yeah, you know what, Lisa, it would change how I had to approach my daily responsibilities, right? It wouldn't change how I felt about him. It wouldn't diminish the respect that I have for him as the head of our household, but it would just change the way that I would have to pivot and kind of figure out, well, what's the way that we keep this household going, knowing that he can't do everything that he's normally able to do, right? And so we've done certain things. Like we try our best not to overextend ourselves financially to a place where we can't get additional support if we needed it. We have insurance set up where we can call on different resources if that came into place. And I'm very open with my work in letting them know if I need to be gone for, and we're assuming that things are normal and not in this work home environment. But if I need to be gone for a couple of weeks or a month for my husband, it's just what it is, right? So it will change me, Lisa, but it won't change the way that it won't change my dedication, if that makes sense.
Well, I just have to chime in there and say one thing about it, and even to piggyback off of that question. And the reason that you all are like that is because, number one, you like each other, and then number two, you love one another. So in spite of everything else, careers or anything else, we love one another. And I got to really compliment you all on that. Of course, y'all know I've been married. I don't even know how long I've been married. So when I met Doc, I wasn't even this gray back then. She'll tell, but you all are the perfect example in the mode, if that's even a word. It just sounds good to me.
Sounds good, huh?
Yeah, I don't even know if that's a word or not. But yeah, so hey, man,
that
that's
sounds
what
like you
keeps you
sang.
going.
Yeah,
Kenny,
that
you know
sounds
I
like I'm
had to
singing,
use
not
the big
singing.
word.
Singing.
Thank you.
And my wife gonna get on me.
Whatever definition you put on that.
She gonna get on me when I get downstairs, because she get on me about the way I talk. So Doc, go trust me, she gonna get on me. She go not to get on now. That
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, she probably gonna come in.
Boy.
Now, Candace, you've had a front row seat to be able to watch how Micah has handled MS. And so when you think of your own personal day-to-day activities, you know, we're all involved in our families, but we have our things that our own challenges that we have to deal with individually, right? How has seeing him and the way he's handled MS motivated or inspired you with what you do on a daily basis?
Oh, just what do I have to complain about? Right?
Right.
Everything, because I reserve the right to complain. But at the end of it, it really puts into perspective what's important and what's not, you know, and it has made me grow up a little bit, because we don't have the luxury of saying, after we retire, we're going to do all these adventures, because one, even though I do believe that the cure is coming, even though I believe that he will sustain and he will be, you know, as healthy and mobile as he is now, there is a possibility that things can change. And so I've had to mature in the way that I approach my family. I've had to think about what it would mean if I have to take on extra responsibilities, right? And so it really changes the way that I perceive little shit, right? Little things that are not as impactful in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And then I don't dwell. You know, I used to dwell, hold the dwell, you know, get so in your feelings about little things. But when you see somebody deal with something so unpredictable, so hard-hitting, so impactful, and then you see them get out of it, and not even get out of it, but just become an advocate for other people, then I'm like, what am I complaining?
Right. What are you worried about? Yeah. Let's
just enjoy what this is right now.
Yeah. You know? Exactly. So here's what we're gonna do real quick. So I wanna we're gonna pay bills, and we're gonna play our game that we do weekly. One's Gotta Go. But the second half of the show, I'm gonna turn the microphone over to you. And Candace, you're going to host It Is What It Is for the remainder of the show. It's your
Look
world.
how my cousin be drinking that wine. She be drinking that wine like she one of them house girls.
So for the last half of the show, we're gonna do what's called the Candace World Takeover. That's what we're gonna call it. Candace World Takeover. So before we get to the takeover, buddy, let's pay some bills real quick.
Pay them bills.
Right, let's go. Here we go.
All right. Now, lot going on. A lot of negative, a lot of positive, a lot of things to talk about. Go to the Lord, but sometimes you need a human to talk to and someone that you don't see every day. Holla at Gerard Woodridge, Positive Family Solutions, LLC. You can reach him at 504-226-8313, www.positivefamilysolutions.net. Gerard, he'll get you on the right track. Positive Family Solutions, LLC. Once again, 504-226-8313. Mo the tax man, call him up. Got to get those taxes done. You did get an extension this year. I believe you got until the middle of May. Normally it's the middle of April. But Mo can help you out. If you know, most of you that have not done your taxes at this point are usually the ones that owe the government a little bit of money. Go on, get that out of the way. Go talk to Mo the tax man.
You can run, but you can't hide.
954-7777. Mo will get you right.
Behind on them taxes, you do run, you do run.
And we got my man, Phil Humber, representing ABM Insurance.
What?
Call him up. If you're out there riding dirty, please get your automobile insured. Your home, it needs to be insured. It's your most valuable asset other than your ass itself. Make sure you get your life insured as well. Hit my man, Phil Humber up.
Flashlight.
ABM Insurance, 281-960-0763. Hit him up. Hit him up.
Get the flashlight, huh?
So you can see.
Ian Chestnut, IBCPro.com for all of your internet website needs. Please reach out to my man Ian Chestnut, IBCPro.com. He's there for you. He's been in the business for years. He is an expert. IBCPro.com. Please hit up Ian Chestnut for any internet website needs that you may have.
All right, there we go. So we're gonna check up these dice right quick. Oh, one thing I gotta give my boy DeLeon shout out.
DeLeon, so cool.
DeLeon,
Show the
what's up,
merchandise.
homie?
Show the merchandise. Representing Audubon. DeLeon, so
Nah.
cool.
Oh, the DeLeon so cool. I got my headphones. I'm tripping.
I ain't
Yeah, so
seen DeLeon in so long, man.
Hey man, me either, but I got his hat. And he
It's
made
been a
some
long
nice.
time since I've seen DeLeon.
So y'all
man.
check him out. DeLeon so cool. Absolutely. Shaking up the dice. Shaking up the dice. Here we go.
Shake them things up.
So it's gotta be. We need, you know what, Red? We need to start doing intro music for It Is One Gotta Go. I don't know what.
Yeah,
Not right now.
So
we need
drop
some music.
that.
Yeah, we
Got
need
that.
some music.
I got
We need
that
some
next week.
Okay,
Yes,
there we
sir.
go. Here we
Another
go.
one bites to death.
Yep. Here we go.
I got that too.
This is kind of geared to Can. I thought about these kind of geared to Candace a little bit. So let's do this one. Let's go start from the beginning and come on up.
Okay.
It's good. Y'all hold your socks. You got to know what this is. One gotta go. Big Daddy Kane or Rakim. Which one gotta go?
Why though?
One gotta go. That's why it's meant to be tough. This is
Very
life.
lyrical.
It's hard but fair.
It's hard, but it's fair. Amen. Yeah. Hey, all I can say that's a lyrical battle right there. But I do know.
Well, here's the deal, right? Because lyrically, I have so much respect for Rakim.
All right, cuz don't do like that last guest
But
that
Big
got on
Daddy
here.
Kane did more girl cuts, right? Like he did more
True.
stuff that like girls
True,
can dance to.
true,
So when I
true.
was coming up
And he
where
had
my
the dance move.
straight down the side, I was dancing to Big Daddy Kane. It wasn't until I was
Yeah.
older I was like, ooh, Rakim got bars.
Yeah, Rakim got serious.
All right,
bars.
cuz, so now go and tell us who it's gonna be.
All right. I'm gonna say the Big Daddy Kane.
You gonna say who?
Big Daddy Kane gotta go. So we got Rakim.
Hey.
I'm with this. I'm just gonna sit here laid back.
Hit them balls with that Corona shot dance one time.
Smooth
cuz.
lyrics. This is
It's
88.
88.
Time to set it straight. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no half stepping. Word,
That was
word.
hard.
I'm ready.
All right. I got
We got they want to get my name's Kane, so yo, you know the outcome.
I got some more. This gonna hurt.
Yeah, buddy.
This gonna hurt. So I'm gonna come up a little bit.
See, now you finding out. We finding out our viewers who really are hip hop fans ain't none of them.
Yeah, here you go.
You
No,
are.
they commented.
I'm
They
the one
commented.
that weighed in, right? Like every week, everybody says who they think something.
Yep.
Man,
They commented.
buddy,
They've
that's
been
why
commenting. Josh said Big Daddy Kane gotta go.
I saw
I agree
Josh
with you,
comment.
But we doing this one. We moving on. Whitney Houston.
Oh,
Whitney said
and
she wanna dance with somebody.
Shaka.
Oh no, Whitney got to go.
Don't. Oh,
Whitney got to
Which one
go.
gotta go?
Whitney gotta
Whitney got to go.
Sorry, like
Okay.
Shaka hit me in my phone.
All right.
Chaka Khan.
Sorry.
Chaka Khan.
Shaka
Chaka
Wings.
Khan. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, let me rock it, Shaka Khan.
Hey,
Let me rock it, that's all I wanna do. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, Shaka Khan. Let me rock it, got the feel for you. Shaka Khan, what you tell me what you wanna do? See you feel for me, the way I feel for you.
Feel for you.
We gonna turn it off, y'all.
You wanna hug, wanna squeeze you too. Let me take it in my arms.
Hit that Corona dance one time for me, cuz, and I'll turn it off. Corona in. Corona.
Let me rock it, rock it.
All right. Gotta move on.
Shaka say I feel for you.
I got
It's a
another
party
one.
of two. It's me and you, Rev.
Stop this.
Yeah,
This
Shaka
ain't
say I
the
feel
real.
for
This
you.
is what it is, but I feel for you.
Yes, exactly. Shaka say because
Okay,
I
so
love you.
This one I want to find out. I don't know which way Candace would go.
Okay.
And this will be shocking. Whichever way you go, it's gonna be shocking for me. So we're gonna do this one first. Mary J. You know she holds some good weight, right?
Oh yeah, she do. There she do.
Come on.
Oh,
Lauren
tell you-
gotta go. You gotta give it to
Let me-
Mary.
Oh,
Let me
no.
tell you.
Why?
Which one gotta go?
Because you think about what's the 411?
yeah, miseducation is just
Miseducation was
Jesus
everything.
Christ.
But
Yeah.
what Micah did was he put up my favorite album of all time, which is that Mary, that my life.
Yeah.
Like
Good
I
job. I can love you. I can love you. I can love
I remember it was one one of those Mary J albums. Every time Doc would get mad with me and quit me, she would play that album.
And Sim say, Mary J gotta go.
I can.
Indeed, Anthony.
I will.
That's my life though. Like that now
Gibson
from
say-
start to finish.
I
Yeah,
will
Boogie
say
gotta go.
the one thing
cut was just that.
the one thing I give to Lauren.
L Boogie.
But if you throw the Fugees
Lauren
in there
is
with
just the
Lauren, then Mary
coldest-
gotta go.
Well,
Lauren is the coldest female MC to me.
well,
Who?
Lord,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
L Boogie.
what you say,
Lauren?
Doc?
L.
All
Just
damn
with the
day,
flow?
Lord, Mary J.
Man,
Oh,
Yeah.
Lauren was
I-
tight.
Lauren
Lauren
was
was
tight.
so
Like,
cold with the
Yeah,
mic.
she,
Not
yeah.
from Lauren. Like they
Yeah,
did that
yeah.
one song.
Sister
Oh,
Act.
Mary gotta
Come on.
stay in Simpson and Banks. My bad.
It used to be one of those Mary albums. Which one it was? That when she
411?
was at a dark spot in her life, that was
My
a
411.
banging. Whichever one it was,
Yeah, that's
man,
Mary.
I remember Dr. Little Girl and we was boyfriend and girlfriend. Candace, every time she quit, I knew she would quit because she played that album. I can do bad by my damn self, around. I'll be, oh shit.
Shit, let me stop.
She done quit me.
Yeah, showing the way.
Oh, boy.
Give you some subliminal messages. You can play if you want to.
You call over there to your grandmama now. Child, she done put Phil down
Look.
again. Told him
Shout
go
out
by
to-
the
shout out to
business.
Shout out to Mary for putting work in on Power, man. She's showing her all her
Yeah.
acting skills now. Doing a good
Yeah,
job
and they
there.
terrible. And they
It's kind of
and they
dry. That's
terrible.
dry.
And they
She
terrible.
looked amazing.
Horrible.
Yeah, she good. That girl good.
She looked
She
amazing.
terrible. Hey, but want to give a shout out to everybody tuning in too. We really appreciate y'all giving your opinions and keep this going and asking questions also. And also make sure you share, like and share. If it's your first time, make sure you go to the YouTube page and click on the It Is What It Is podcast. We are definitely enjoying having all people on and chiming in and just and enjoying this setting and enjoying this MS Awareness Month. And I haven't said much because I'm learning to at the same time and just listen to my beautiful wife talk about herself, which she doesn't do often. So I really appreciate the questions you all been asking, Candace, and we find out some stuff. So it's all good. Yep.
You want to break my applause button.
No, I just when you applaud for yourself.
Oh, you know.
That
The
was last
Rev, y'all.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we're turning this over to Candace now, huh?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You mean
It's the
my
Kansas.
turn?
Yeah.
We're calling
It's
this
in your
this,
hands.
It's
this
in your
segment of the
hands.
show is called the Candace World Takeover.
Shots been
I
fired
like a
again.
mic. I needed a mic. I could do my best Oprah. Hey guys.
Really?
You got a
Hey,
candlestick in that.
Hey,
Right.
Why does it
Long
sound
as
like
you don't-
Wendy Williams, man?
yeah, as long as you don't hear
That's
this, no
my
Wendy Williams.
cousin. That's my
Yeah.
cousin. That's my
Why
cousin.
does it sound like Wendy Williams, man?
No Wendy Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on this phone call. I don't want no
Marcus
Wendy
died.
Now
Yeah.
Wendy Williams look like a zombie on
That
there.
mo-
She
Like
she need
a
to fire
zebra.
her makeup artist. The Rev said that
She
Wendy
look like
Williams.
she
if
look like a
you
real
watch-
zebra, man.
Yeah,
Her face look like a zebra. Yeah,
look
it
like
does.
a alien up in
A
here.
real live, just like she has some
We're gonna-
boy.
we're gonna-
Look like she got
Gotta
a
elevate it.
unibrow in
All right,
here.
we're not.
So look,
Let's
Okay.
keep going. Keep going.
so once we blow up and we have her as a guest on the show, we got to edit this
Right.
part of this show. Go ahead.
I wouldn't give a lovely.
Me
All
and
I'ma
Bruce
say is
just won't get a
Marcus
check.
died.
Hey, Bruce, we just won't get a check that week.
All I'm gonna say is Marcus, darling. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, let's get this thing going, y'all. Let's get this thing going.
I have some questions. I really do have questions. Okay. So my first question is when we're talking about MS awareness, it is a serious topic and it's something that we have to, give a lot of attention to. And yeah, but I did want to lighten it a little bit. And so I have heard so many of these, and I don't know how many of these he's shared with you. So Micah, can you share with us, maybe like one or two of your funniest MS 150 stories, whether it's on the ride or like during practice? Like, what you got?
Oh man, it's a lot of them. We have a great time riding the bike. One comes to mind when a buddy of mine beating off Brandon North. I think he said he's looking. We were on the first day, and it's of course it's hilly between Houston and Austin. And it was this one hill in Bastrop that goes up and breaks bread on everybody, and it goes and it levels out and it goes up again. And like, so that's when I kind of get juiced up. I just hit it hard, and I'm going up the hill and just yelling at people, "Come on, y'all, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, y'all, let's go, let's go." And for this hill this year, we got to the top and it leveled off and went up again. And generally, people get to the top of that second one, it's like slow boogie pedaling. Man, and it's quiet because nobody has any wind. You're just tired. If you're not walking your bike up, you just wore out. So I'm pumping hard. I get to the top, so I kind of beat most people up the hill with us. And I'm riding, and all of a sudden I hear behind me, "Holy shit!" and it was B, but everybody fell laughing because everybody felt exactly what he was saying. He's like, man, he was like, and he's like yelling to me. I'm probably like 10, 15 bike lengths ahead. And he said, "Love, man, what was that? You didn't tell me you had mountains in this ride." I was like, "Oh man," I just died laughing. So it's like, and on that same hill, like the year before, I was riding up, and there's this lady who was a little older. She was like great older, and she was just badly getting up the hill. I was, pumping people up. "Come on, y'all, come on, let's go, guys, let's go, guys." And I was just going past this lady. I said, "Ma'am, this hill ain't shit." And I kept riding because it's just going. And all of a sudden, I hear this lady. It was an older white lady. She was probably around I think she was like in her 60s. She was like, "You're right, sir. This hill isn't shit." And I said, "Man, yeah, you're right." And it was funny. I was laughing. So that's like doing a ride, like the process. And Ken, you can relate to this. So the process of people getting over these hard things to go through, it kind of puts you in perspective. Like, hey, if I make it through this, I can make it through anything. And yep, beating off, the hill breaks bread. Absolutely,
it break bread, and then you wonder why I lie to you every year about riding. You just answered your question.
No, that hill is nasty. I call it Big Nasty, right? Because it's like you never realize how hilly the terrain is when you're driving, but getting up that, like I prayed out loud. You don't care who's listening. You're just trying to get up. All I knew is that you can't stop. Because if you stop, it's over.
I called the sniper hill because people start stopping pedaling, they just fall over. Like they getting picked up. They just fall over. Bam, bam.
And you wonder why I've been lying to you all these years.
I should have lied to you. That's what I should have did and told you it was a flat ground, like riding around in Finnegan Park, and then you came and ride. Yeah.
Thank you, Mike. No, that was good. That was good. Like, there's so many of these, right? Like,
so many of them.
And like, it's just the ejected hill.
But a lot of the characters are the funny stories because of the characters on Riding Dirty.
When we talk about Calvin, DeWitt, like it's just
a whole it's a circus, really. We need to take this show on the road. We are on the road. We ride on bikes.
It's a family that chooses to do something extremely difficult because they support you.
Right. And I thank them.
So that has to be, very encouraging in what you're trying to accomplish.
Absolutely.
And raising a lot of money, right? Along the way. So go Riding Dirty.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So my next
raising money
is one thing that what I mentioned before is that you don't lead with your condition, right? You don't lead with I'm Michael with MS. That's not who you are.
Right.
And so sometimes it's easy for the people around you not forget, but just not remember all of the things that come with having MS, right? But I always wonder, like, is it always somewhere in the back of your brain? Like, is it a constant thing for you?
No, it's not. It's not. And it, for one reason, it should be because it not being my first mindset or thought that allows me to be not as compliant with my medication as I should. Which I take it often, but I may miss a dose. There's 2 doses per day. I may miss a dose because I'm doing so much. It's not in the forefront of my mind. But that's the only reason why I should have it in the forefront of my mind. But I don't have it in the forefront of my mind because it just like everybody's had a bad relationship where you go in and out, and you just and you get rid of that person out of your life. But then if you go back to that bad relationship, you're mentally thinking about it, then it puts you back in that mindset, right? So I try to. So of course I divorced myself from that relationship with MS, mentally. So I can go forward. And the times that it may come up in my mind, so I have to remind myself, is whenever I sign up to do too much, especially too much of a physical activity, such as I have to be aware and riding MS 150 if it's hot outside, and just make sure I'm taking care of myself, which would be the reason everybody should take care of themselves also, exactly. At the same level I'm doing. But I have to be extra careful to make sure I do those things in order to make it through those stressful physical situations that I would have in front of me. So that's kind of but I don't want to use that as an excuse why I can't do it.
Indeed.
Which is a slippery slope to be on too at the same time, because I challenge myself quite often too much, but I'm good.
Listen, you do a good job of being everything Micah before you're everything Micah with MS. So kudos to you. Indeed. So another question I had, and this is very personal. This is something that we talk about. I know that you had reservations when it came to having kids, because even though it's not something that's in the MS handbook, there seems to be evidence that it's hereditary, right? And so you did not want to be in a position where you would pass the burden of that on to your children. But we have 2 kids, right? At what point did you pivot in the way that you were thinking about having?
Well, I knew we were having a discussion about having kids, and I told you that, to where I wasn't sure because of the condition of MS possibly passed on via traits. It really was a spiritual process with me to know, and and it was 2 things. To where I spoke with Frenay. Shout out to Frenay Chestnut, Dr. Frenay Chestnut. LaCour Chestnut, as you would have it hyphenated. But and said that, and I mentioned it to her, but she didn't even go the medical process telling me that it'd be okay. She went to say, Micah, the Lord has taken care of you this far, so why do you think the Lord won't take care of your children? I was like, yeah, that's pretty dynamic, and I'm a living witness that he's taking care of me, so why wouldn't he take care of my kids in that? But another reason why I was leaning not to have it, or in which we had kids, I was leaning not to because of MS. But then going forward, that's why I do so much with the MS Society, or just work so hard and raise the money to find a cure, because I don't want these guys to go through the same things I've gone through. And that's why I didn't want to have kids. But the way technology has advanced now in medications, to where if Luke and Lance have to take a tablet twice a day, that's better than them taking shots. So I have done my part in advancing the technology for the medications by giving money. But I still am fighting for this cure, which is going to happen in our lifetime, to where Luke and Lance won't ever have an opportunity to go through the pain that I went through. It may be like a vaccine or something, but they're not going to have that situation to go through. If I have something to say about it, I'm doing all I can right now and getting money to that point of a cure for MS.
And so then how do you plan on talking to them about it?
So funny you say that. Luke already knows, but he doesn't know. Because there was a commercial about MS medication that came out. It's a multiple sclerosis, this and that. And then Luke said, "Hey, that's Daddy." "Oh, what do you mean that's Daddy?" "No, MS, multiple sclerosis, that's you." Like, it's like I'm the poster child thing for MS, but he doesn't. Yeah. So he knows, but he doesn't know what it is actually. I'll tell them, and when it comes up, like Luke and I has been reading my book. So it's kind of over his head a little bit, but I read so he can go to sleep for one, because it's boring for him. But just him hearing the process, it may resonate with him 10 years from now. Yeah. But in me telling them is whenever it probably may be forced to tell them if I have an exacerbation, to tell them something's wrong. And then try to explain to them in whatever age level that they're at, to what's going on, to where it's going to be okay. This is what I'm going through. I think that'll be the best opportunity to tell them when something happens, instead of worrying them something could happen. Yeah. I may wait until something does happen. Not something does happen, but like may wait until there's an opportunity they'll see it physically, and I could explain more to them when it happens, instead of them being worried about me having this process that may happen going forward. So it doesn't need to be on the forefront of their mind, just like it's not on the front of my mind either.
Yeah. Well, you bring up a good point, even though you haven't had that direct conversation with them because they're still pretty young, especially like, but they're around it, right? Talk about there's a major bike ride that happens every year. It's your book. It's it's things that they are constantly aware of. So osmosis alone kind of put that in, I assume, but that really doesn't take place of that conversation that needs to occur. Yeah. Right. You talk about what the impact. So, it's heavy, but it's definitely something that, you have nothing but.
Yeah. And my good friend Lisa Stabler said, never hide it or lie to your kids. They're able to handle more than you realize. Yes, absolutely.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which I won't hide it from them or lie to them about it, but I won't make it like, hey, like how I do everybody else. It's not like, hey, I'm Mike and I have MS type process. It won't be like I'm daddy and I have MS. It'll be I'm daddy, this and that. You need to sit down, do what you gotta do, all that stuff, and then my MS kicking in, so I'm going outside. Like just kind of that process.
Yeah.
So it won't be. I won't put it on the forefront of their mind like it's not on the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
But I would never hide it or lie to my kids, Lisa. I agree with you on that one.
And you're right, Lisa. They do handle way more than we give them credit for. Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so as any good host does, right? They allow the to talk about what they have going on. So I know that one thing that you talk about every year is that you're trying to get more creative with the way that you fund, right? Not just going to the MS 150 site and donating your money. There's different things that you do every year to encourage people, whether it's the gong show that we talked about, or the happy hours, or your birthday party that you dedicated to that. Can you talk a little bit about what some of the creative fundraising that you're going to do this year? So
first, I am still fundraising. For everybody that's watching, you can go to my Facebook page, and it's somewhere on there that says MS, the link you can click on to donate, please. I'm going to start sending out emails again because that worked pretty well. But what you're saying, Candace, is something that for the MS Society is the wine time. This I don't mean to cover your face up, but this is a virtual process of a virtual wine tasting. And see, Kansas is ready already. It's a virtual wine tasting, and it's going to be live, interactive, similar to this. It's going to have music and but we only have a wine educator on there to talk about these wines. But the key thing about these wines, to where they're more practical, to where these are the wines that you can get at your HEB. They're not the cheap wines. They're not the Boones or the Thunderbird or the Ripple that Bruce may drink all the time. But
no, sir.
But it's wines that are more practical, and also they're good wines you can bring to somebody's house for a party, or you can, if you're trying to impress a date. It's a great wine you get from HEB, and we have those wines already picked. So what's going to happen once you go to wine time? You can. I'm going to put this on here to where right now we're starting in April. Wine time. You can text this number and get your time and get a confirmation and also an explanation also of the wine time process. 713-569-4549. If you didn't know, that's my cell phone number. So you're working with me directly, and I'll make sure you have a slot. We're looking at doing it on Fridays and Saturdays in April, or until whenever. And you can. And the thing is, with this, you have practical wines you can get. You have a wine educator, and you have your friends on there also, because you could be able to invite your friends to also donate to the MS Society. Donation. So the cost of this is going to be $150. $50 is for your wine, and $100 is going straight to the MS Society. So pretty much everything is going to the MS Society for the MS 150 for this year, which is in May 1st. Mm-hmm. But this is wine time, to where you can absolutely get your time, and you can get a group of people. And for each location you see on this screen, it's like each location is going to be $150, to where you can have 5 people at your house. You can just do it individually with your spouse, and you're at home doing a virtual wine tasting. And you get 3 bottles of wine sent to your home. I'm going to Instacart you the bottles of wine to your home, so you don't have to leave your house. They're going to be there for you for the wine tasting, and it's going down.
And then the balance also constitutes your donations to the MS Society for this year.
Yes, absolutely. So it goes to the MS Society, which we put it toward the bike ride for me. And then I have a company I'm riding with, Nova Drilling. They are donating or matching every dollar per dollar. So actually, you're giving $300 to the MS Society instead of $150. Or $200.
Cool.
And you did you did gloss over it, but you do have a fantastic resource that you're working with during the wine education. I can attest that she is not only extremely knowledgeable about wine, but she is a time, and it will be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. She is a nut, and you all will definitely enjoy her on this platform. And it's not gonna be boring. It's gonna be fun, interactive. You can talk instead of just trying to type into the comments, and you can absolutely we're gonna have a good time. So just call me, and then we set you up, and then we make it happen. Definitely.
Awesome.
I got you, Lisa Saylor. You drinking with us?
Good.
All right.
Hold up and show up.
With the wine.
All right. Well, y'all, guess what? Is that about it? Because, cuz I got my 5 or 6.
You're not doing that.
No. Hey, y'all ready to go on and kick this off? Here we go. I'm going to bring you in, cuz. I'm going to bring you in. Here we go. with it. We finna go with it. Hold on. Here we go with it. I'm going to bring you in, cuz I'm going to get them first, too. I'm going to get them first ones for you. I was writing right down here. Here we go. Here we go. Hey, y'all. It is what it is. The show that teach you how to live. I got my cousin. Her name is Cans. Michael, baby mama, the Luke and Lance. Hey, she's gonna put something in our ear. Give us that flavor in the ear. Go, Candace. It's on you.
I tell you, I'm not doing it. I'm not freestyling. I'm not
man.
I'm drinking my wine. It's my time with the guy on. So it is what it's time. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. Oh, yeah. That's
Hey, Rick, what's up?
Hey, y'all.
What's up, Rick?
Hey, man. This been our show this evening. Facebook. And the rest of you social media folks, we had my cousin on here, and she told us how it was this evening. As I always say, y'all touch, hug, love, stay sucker free, and most of all, don't hurt nobody. And every Sunday, y'all catch the rev at 6 o'clock. But until then, y'all know it is what it is. Crew love y'all. It ain't a doggone thing you can do about it. Rev, Corona dance up out of here.
I smash teeth, fuck your beef.